So good evening. Thank you for coming. My name is Candy Castellanos and I work for CleanScapes and I do outreach and education for the City of Seattle. And here today to talk about the Neighborhood Waste Reduction Rewards Challenge. So before I get started, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about the company itself. We are locally owned and operated. We were started in 1997 as a streetscape maintenance company, and since then have grown to actually have the City of Seattle and the City of Shoreline contract for municipal solid waste. So we do collection of garbage, recycling, and yard waste in the City of Seattle. One of the things that really makes us different is we have taken a really innovative approach to the concept of waste collection and really challenged communities to think beyond waste and really looking at this industry and kind of turning it on its head and making every possible innovation that we can to make the communities that we serve actually more livable. So we don't come and just collect your garbage and your recycling and your yard waste. We're actually thinking about the community that we live into and that we're serving. And so our whole focus from top to bottom is sustainability. And everything we do is really working toward being that trusted partner of that city, of the individual neighborhoods we serve, of the communities that we serve. So here's a picture of our yard. And you can see some of the other services we provide, including outdoor event stations for festivals and things like that, sorting stations. So the Neighborhood Waste Reduction Rewards Challenge is one of the ways that we have decided to kind of move Seattle down the continuum of really great recycling, really great composting. What is that next step? And so we want to offer as a challenge to all of the neighborhoods in the communities that we serve in Seattle to reduce waste. And so this challenge is about looking at the waste stream and seeing what we can do to make a difference. So why are we doing this? So the City of Seattle actually does an amazing job recycling and composting. And so you'll see over time, we've done a better and better job, and we aim to do better yet. So right now, the City of Seattle is at a 51% recycling rate, which is fantastic. So we're doing a great job. And I think that we're ready to have that next conversation about waste reduction. So one of the other things that we noticed when we took a look at kind of how much waste is generated citywide over time is that even though we're recycling 51%, we're still generating an average of 800,000 tons of waste, something that has to be picked up, disposed of, no matter whether it's to a recycling plant, a composting facility, like 800,000 tons a year that we generate just as our city. And so we wanted to take a look and see if we can make an impact on that. So we are one of the founding members of the Seattle Climate Partnership, and the City of Seattle has made a goal that by 2030, it wants to be the first carbon neutral city. And how that involves us is the manufacturing, the transportation, and the disposal of everything that we use in our day-to-day lives accounts for 29% of the greenhouse gases that we create that go off into the atmosphere. So everything that we can do to reduce waste actually has a direct impact locally and globally on the environment and climate. So we launched this program for the first time last year. We did a pilot project with half of our service area, and we found that it was pretty successful. So we kind of shifted back to the first two of the 3 R's, so reduce, reuse, recycle, and focus primarily on waste reduction. And so this challenge is really about looking at what we can do to create less waste. So we started last fall, we ended in spring, we did a 6-month time period, and the prize for whoever reduced the most waste was a $50,000 community improvement project. So we finished last spring, and the community just finished basically a project selection process, and we're going to announce in a couple weeks what the winning prize is. But in last year's program, the Thursday neighborhood area, the Thursday collection day area won. And so as you can see, each of our competing communities have a date on them, and there's a reason for that. And so we are able to weigh and calculate the total waste generated by collection day, which is why things are divided the way that they are. And so for the neighborhood that won, it's not just Madrona, it's half of Madrona, part of Capitol Hill, part of Montlake, Madison Park, Madison Valley, and part of Yesler Terrace. And so the other fun part of this competition is really challenging you to think beyond your initial neighborhood into your greater community and really understanding how the individual choices you make and the things that you do have this bigger impact. So this is the final numbers, and we looked at weekly averages over time for the first competition. And Thursday won because they had a 19.5% reduction. So Wednesday, which is the South Lake Union territory, came in second. So great job. But if you look at the difference from fall to spring, that's a weekly tonnage from those neighborhoods. And so essentially, they were asked, like we're going to ask you again, to basically challenge yourself to reduce waste over time. And whoever does the best, whoever reduces the waste the most, will win. So we're doing this competition again. We're starting this fall. This is the official launch. So basically, every moment moving forward, you're impacting whether or not your neighborhood will have a chance at winning. We have, again, a $50,000 community improvement project as the prize. And I wanted to emphasize that we are defining waste as all waste, garbage, recycling, and composting, because we want to take a look at the entire waste stream that is generated in our neighborhoods and see if we can make an impact in that. So this competition really is up to you. You decide who wins. So it's you versus the landfill. So every choice that you make every day is actually going to make a difference and tip the scale in your neighborhood's favor. So this is a map of all the different areas that are competing for the $50,000 prize. So we've got Monday through Friday South and Monday through Friday North. And each individual collection day area is competing against itself. And whoever reduces the most waste between now and next fall is the winner. So what is the $50,000 prize for? So by community improvement project, it can be a community amenity that can be anything from public benches, garden structures, bike racks, neighborhood lighting at the entrance point. So anything that is something that is in need for that neighborhood, for that greater neighborhood. And the most important criteria is that it's accessible to the public. We want to make sure that the prize, when it's won, it actually can be accessed by everybody in the community. So that includes parks, that includes school properties, that includes basically anything where we can come in and build and develop a community amenity that can be used over time and also used as an example to showcase that this neighborhood did something amazing and you can too. So there's two other components to this competition. We're doing an elementary student art competition. And so any elementary student attending Seattle Public Schools is eligible. And we've got information on our website. We are going to have 3 winners picked from each category. And then of the winners, they will basically have the opportunity to have their artwork featured on the side of one of our CleanScapes trucks. We have a college scholarship. That's another part of the program. So any Seattle Public School, high school, junior, or senior can create a presentation about waste reduction and compete for a $2,000 college scholarship. And so if you know of any high school students or any elementary students, please let them know. All this information is available on our website. So beyond why we're doing this here, why should we reduce waste? Why does this really matter? So what you see is artwork done by a local Seattle artist, Chris Jordan. And what he did is he created this replica of a painting using 106,000 aluminum cans. And what he wanted to showcase was what we use as a nation. And so I'm going to start with kind of what we're using nationally and then kind of move down to our state level. So as you can see, every little thing adds up. And even though it's recyclable, something still needs to happen with it. And so if we're using 410,000 disposable cups, single-use cups, you use it once and that's it. You can't ever use it again. Every 15 minutes, it's amazing. And as you're looking at these, think about what is the alternative, and you'll find that the alternative is really simple. Like take on a reusable water bottle or a reusable travel mug with you when you fly, in your car, at the gym, at your work, wherever you go. So we have choices with how we shop. We can bring a reusable bag. Clearly, there's easier choices. There's plastic bags everywhere. It's hard not to come across them. But every 5 seconds, 60,000. So this is another Chris Jordan image. And what you see is a forest, and if you zoom in, what you'll see is it's stacks of paper bags. 1.14 million. What's amazing to me about paper bags that really surprised me is most of these don't get recycled. So the Washington Post did a study, and they found that 10 to 15% of paper grocery bags, things that almost are iconic in terms of recycling, don't actually get recycled. So most of those are actually thrown away.